So we're running 2 lithiums, 31. You're running 3 lithiums.
I'm running 3 lithiums, 2 75s for my trolling motor, and 1 100 amp hour for my electronics, and a AGM for my starting battery. They're all Pro Guide.
So all 4 running off of 1?
Yep.
What kind of charger did you put in it?
I put in a, good question.
So by the way, he works for Ericsson. He knows a little bit about electronics.
That's my engine. That's my battery compartment.
Gen Pro 4. I don't know what that is.
It's a NOCO.
Yeah.
It's a 10 amp hour charger.
Where's your 4th battery?
Right there.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Everything's Pro Guide.
No expense spared, man. I like it. Let's check it out. See if he can blow my hair back without bouncing me out. No boat crashes. Guys, I go slow-mo here because as I watch this footage, actually, so later in the video, Scott says he thinks the motor's too high. He thinks the boat would be faster, which the boat's plenty fast. But he says he thinks it would be faster if he lowers the motor. I think he's right. I'm not sure that that's correct. So either he's over-trimming it, and that's where he's getting that big rooster tail, so he needs to raise the motor to get it to run flat and run faster, or he needs to lower it so that he can put it at that trim position and get more of a neutral position and go faster. Again, this boat's going to run about 50, you'll see here in just a second. But I think if he, and I don't know that he cares enough about speed to do this, but I think if he toys with the jack plate, now, and remember his is manual, but lifting it and dropping it, I think there's 3 or 4 more mile an hour in this boat if he plays with it a little bit, because that rooster tail just doesn't quite look right to me. I'm gonna bet it's a 22 Fury 3, but that's an absolute guess.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a 22 or 23. I do know since I switched my batteries out, I think I'm gonna have to lower my jack plate just a little bit.
What are you feeling different?
I know I've lost a little bit of speed, a little bit.
Going lighter, you lost some speed.
Yeah, because I think it's setting up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that these run better with them down in the water a lot farther. So I'm going to try it out. I had it blow out a couple times last weekend. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna lower it a little bit.
You got a good hole shot though.
No, it's smooth and quick.
Are the plugs out of the prop?
No, it's just like it came. And I don't have wedge plates in there either. A lot of guys put wedges in them, I don't.
You don't feel it, you don't need it. I mean, it just rolls over. don't know if y'all saw that or not, but Scott came out of it pretty fast, and it really doesn't backwash. I'm impressed.
It rides pretty smooth.
It rides really smooth. So right off the bat, one thing I'm going to say is it is a different feel, and I know that's because it's got that V on the front, right? But it doesn't have that slappy feel I've always felt in other metal boats. Now, we'll see how much more tippy it is. My sense is not a lot more, but again, I've not spent a lot of time in a metal boat in a really long time, and the one we had was only 17.5 feet long, so that was impressive. Boat just rolls over. I don't know if y'all could hear Scott. What he said was, so since he's gone to lithium batteries, so you've probably taken more than 100 pounds out of the back, right?
Well, but I took 2 batteries out. I replaced my SL batteries. They were 31s with 2 75s, but then I also added a battery for my graphs.
Well, now you say that, so you took 3 70-pound batteries out, right?
I took, yeah, 3, but I put 1 AGM in, which weighs more than your standard flooded battery.
So probably 90.
And then I also added another lithium battery, 100 amp hour lithium battery.
So you probably put 25 pounds of lithium batteries in there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
so,
you
I
lightened
think it's
it.
pretty much a wash. I just get a lot more hours out of it.
Yep. And again, it's a really accessible rear end and well finished out. You got pistons on everything. It's cool. It's very cool. The question is, unlike the G3, can I catch a fish out of it? Oh, check this guy out. This guy's in a I guess he's trolling for hybrids.
Could be.
On a Sea-Doo. I don't know that I've seen that very many times.
They fish it out here a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Chasing schoolies?
Yeah, they'll run wave runners, jet skis out here all the time.
That's funny.
They have them designed just for fishing. They even have like a anchoring system for them.
Wow. Seat's really comfortable. I would say seat's comparable to most glass boats. No storage under the seats, but the boat's got a ton of storage. It's got 2 really big boxes in the back, right? Those are not carpeted, so that's kind of handy.
Got oxygenated live well, big live well.
Really clean setup up under the dash, not a lot of wires going everywhere.
It does have a sea clear harness, so I have a dedicated line from the rear to my console.
Right.
And then another line dedicated that goes all the way to the front.
Gotcha. I done got a hold of a good one here on Lake Louisville. Oh, he broke my line.
He's camera shy.
About a 2.5 foot long needle nose guard just took my, and he was literally hooked in the mouth where all those teeth are. I told Scott, I said, I'm probably not getting that bait back, and I was correct. So, you know, one of the things I really like about going out with a guy, how long have you had this boat now?
Just a little over a year.
So about a year.
And I got about 23 hours.
So 23 hours in the boat. He's had it about as long as I've had my boat. I said, if you were going to change one thing about the boat, what would you change? He said, really, there's only one thing I would change about the boat. Now remember, I'm asking him design and everything, and what he said was the dash. So he ordered this. This is a Vexus piece, and as you see, it sticks out too wide. And so 2 notes to you guys. Number one, now if you're putting 12s on there, you might have to have it that wide, but it's really, really wide. Now I do like it's easy to see over, but the other thing is, he said it makes his cover harder to get on. So make sure when you order your boat, and this is with most manufacturers, when you order the cover, make sure they know exactly how you're going to set your electronics up. I don't know if I've talked about this. So Basscat, they're like, what electronics are going on the boat? What are the mounts going to be? What's your trolling motor going to be on the boat? Are you going to have 360? You're going to have live scope? Or you're going to have both? And then they adjusted my, they then had my cover made specifically for those specs. So they said that's really the only thing he would change. Now, one other thing I'll show you. And so I really like this. Sorry, I really like this. This is called a right height.
So here's how, and it's a real smooth operation. There's how you steer his live scope. The one thing that we've talked about I don't like is, look where it is. So you literally have to stand to the side to see where that is. And Scott says you really can't adjust that. So that's really, now I don't know, if you didn't have a 360, could you put it somewhere else? So that's it.
I have actually spoke with them, and I would have to do some changing.
Yeah, so the designers of that, I mean, it's a really neat system. You see he has it where he just lifts it up and sets it in the tray, the little control bit, and it's really smooth. It's absolutely silent, quiet, so it's really well made. It just needs to be moved this way or moved that way so you can actually see the head without having to lean out over the boat. I just want to prove I can actually catch a fish. Well, so far hook a fish on Louisville. Let's see if I can actually catch it. And where I stuck that fish, another one swam out of there with him. I spooked one. Hey, look, buddy. That's a little chunk right there. On my 8-pound seagull. Miss one? That's a solid little old keeper right there. So something else I just mentioned to Scott was, I've never fished on a 100% sea deck boat. I am really surprised how cushiony and how comfortable it is. It's really soft to stand on. And he also made a comment that his experience so far is it's super easy to clean. Just a low pressure, high pressure hose, if you will. So not one that'll tear it up, but just low pressure, wash it off, or what's that stuff called that you clean it with?
It's any degreaser cleaner.
Yeah, so any old degreaser
Rub it
cleaner.
with a brush, hose it down.
Yeah, so brush it and hose it down. He said it comes clean, and it looks, I mean, his boat, now granted, he's only got 20-something hours on it, but the boat looks brand spanking new. It really does.
I mean, I got 100 some hours on my graph, so.
100 hours on your graphs and 23 on your.
Yeah, so I mean, I've got time in it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wrong kind.
Ah.
Don't get that one on the carpet. I guess that's a good thing about having. Show that one to the camera, would you? Look at that dandy. Welcome to Ray Roberts.
I caught one way bigger than this up at Ray Roberts last week.
Louisville.
My live well has an aerator. That's an add-on. I got one.
GoPro, start recording.
Little fella.
Another bite. So, okay, so Scott just made a good point as he's thought about it. Show him what we're talking about you'd like to have changed.
Well, you just see there's not a big sidewall here between the hinge and the gunnel, and I just think having a little, I appreciate the large storage, but when you got to get into your lockers, you always got to move rods out of the way or you're gonna.
So you'd rather
damage
have
them.
a smaller box lid, same size box, just with a smaller lid and more lip off of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that'd work. So he also told me, I didn't know this, so this boat is called, you said it's the Victory package?
I have the Victory package.
So it's a little bit of an upgrade,
Not much.
which gets you pistons on the rod boxes, right?
I can't be specific on exactly what it'll get you. I have extra options on here. Shocks for the lockers, oxygenated live well, of course the sea deck. I mean, there's a lot of options you can order on these things.